Love is in the air during this time of year. Everything is chocolates, red roses, crab legs, shrimp and lobster towers, champagne, and baby bada Buddha. Okay, this time of year leaves many people feeling anxious about their current relationship status. Look, if February makes you feel frantic, helplessly romantic, a little weak in the knees, with a high stakes splash of FOMO, then this Truthful Chat is for you.
Hi, I'm Pam Williams, a mother.
And I'm Jessica E. Williams, a daughter. And this is a mother and a daughter Truthful Chat, where we discuss our 35-year multi-layered relationship.
We've been through so many ups and downs. Not only are we family, but we're business partners in the high-stress world of event planning and production for short films.
We've also shared the same therapist for over 10 years. What some people call codependence, we call collaboration.
So join us as we share stories from our lives,
have candid conversations with other mother-daughter duos,
and shed light on the roller coaster ride of being a woman while raising a woman. Hey there.
Hey.
Welcome to Truthful Chats, 20 minutes or less designed to help us unpack themes of generational wellness. So each month we're going to have a monthly theme and we'll talk about it a little bit and unpack it in our weekly Truthful Chat.
That's right.
So this month's theme is, can you guess? Love. And tonight's topic is the look of love. So I was telling Jess earlier today, when I was growing up, there was a song that I used to love called The Look of Love. I think it was by Sergio Mendes in Brazil 66 originally.
I feel like I know the Nancy Wilson version.
She probably does know that version. And so I can remember the chorus was, I can hardly wait to love you, feel my arms around you. How long I have waited for this moment just to love you.
It sounds very Lifetime.
Don't ever go. Right? It was like, oh my God.
No disrespect to the Lifetime stuff, but it sounds very Lifetime.
So this was like the thing. Everybody, I can remember I am going to fall in love like that, and it is going to be amazing, and it's going to be wonderful. And a couple of times I kind of did, but it didn't turn out to always be wonderful because things get crazy when you are that passionate and that just, oh my God, don't ever go. You know, like you said, a Lifetime movie, right?
It's a Lifetime movie. I don't
know. And none of them lasted because
it's high stakes. It's high. If it's up here all the time, there's nowhere to go. So you've reached the top.
My actual husband that I've been married to 38 years.
Oh, 38 years. That's a long time.
That's a long time, right? But I can remember meeting him. Well, let me go back a little bit. One of the questions that a lot of the young women that I mentor and talk to, and they ask me, Miss Pam, you've been married 38 years, blah, 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 blah. How did you know your husband was the one? How did you know Uncle Skeeter was the one? How did you know? And I didn't know, but I remember the first time we had talked on the phone a lot. We had tried to get together
cupcaking.
No. He was trying to figure out when we could hook up. And I was always really, really super duper busy. I mean, really busy. And he was doing a play on Broadway. So he couldn't go out till like 11:30 at night. So he would be like, can you come out? And I'm like, no, I'm not coming to meet you nowhere at 11:30 at
What's
night.
What's open at that time?
I am not. No, and I'm not going. No, I got to go to work. I got to go to this. And on Saturday morning, I tutor kids at church. And on Sunday, I got to go to church. So I don't know. We'll get together.
Not happening, sir. Not happening.
So it took us a long time to really, really go on a first date. But when I did first see him, it's a long story, but just know that when he walked out of his apartment, he was coming to bring me some car keys. We were exchanging keys for a friend of ours' car. And as soon as he walked out of the gate, I went, this could work. This might work. And there was no meadowy run through the flowers. No
It didn't turn into a Disney movie?
No, it didn't turn into, there was no little
y'all didn't sing the same song at the same time?
No fairies floating around and anything like that. It was like, this could work. And he kind of said the same thing. Oh, okay, she cool. And that was it. And then we just started seeing each other and talking to each other. And that lasted like forever. And so we kind of got to know over the next 2 years that, okay, this could work, and it actually is working. And it's been working for 38 years. Operative word there, being work.
Working.
Being work.
Okay.
Anybody tells you love is magical and not work, they ain't been married
Lies
no
in
38
deceit.
years. I can tell you
Lies
that.
in deceit. Shout out to Lauren Hoyle on that one.
So, yeah, you don't know. You know, some of it's faith, some of it is hoping and wishing, and but some of it is just really practical. And I don't know that everybody thinks about love in that way.
Well, how did you start to think of love practically? Because I think that as a society, we're used to flowers and red roses, shrimp and lobster towers. We gonna sing the same song at the same time. We gonna fall into the same choreography.
No.
Like, how did you get to
No.
practical?
La La Land. No. So my mother was very practical, and my grandmother was very practical in terms of, you know, like my great grandmother. They used to ask my great grandmother in the morning, "How you feeling?" And she would say, "With my hands." So it was just like, I come from a long line of women.
That neck if you buck, if you will.
Generationally, when we're talking about generational wellness, I come from a long line of women that just are really practical about everything. So my great grandmother was that way. My grandmother was that way. My mom was that way. I can remember asking her sometimes. I remember asking her, we were sitting at the kitchen table, and I said, "Do you worry about dad cheating? And do you worry? And are you afraid that he might like somebody else or this, that, and other?" And she looked at me like she didn't stop eating. She said, "I would not get up from this kitchen table to go look out the back door and see if your daddy was in the garage with somebody else."
Savage.
I was like, oh, okay. But that's how I and they were married for a long time, loved each other, did all the things, everything. But, you know, it was just always very, very practical. And so my mom used to say love is a verb.
That's an action word, by the way.
Action word.
Everyone.
Action word. And my love language is, and we can talk about that a little bit later as the month goes on, but my love language is acts of service. So again, a verb. That's how I grew up. My family was not mushy. We still are not. Everybody, we ride or die. We will, like Jessica said, nuck if you buck, all the things, but we're not mushy, you know. And I'm probably the one that started us saying "I love you" when we get ready to get off the phone or whatever, because my mom was not like that. I would say, "Mom, do you love me?" She said, "Do you have clean clothes? Did you know, like, you got food, right? I got to take it." So it was all very, very practical. Very practical. And that's how I grew up. So I don't know if that is a generational curse or a generational wellness.
I think it's our generational reality. I think, you know, the question I get asked a lot by my friends and my peers, like, why aren't you dating? Like, where's your man? Like, do you want to be in relationships? Like, what's going on? Let me preface this by saying I am an R&B connoisseur. Okay, I love
Brian McKnight every time he shows up anywhere.
That's my guy, Brian Kelly McKnight. I am Neo, Jodeci. Anybody who knows me, I am all things R&B. I love love songs. Okay, I enjoy classic Black love cinema. Give me a Love Jones, a Love and Basketball, you know, Jason's Lyric. I'm in. I'm there. So I'm not cynical, I would say, about love. I'm here for it. Black love specifically. Shout out to everyone and how you love, but Black love specifically. But I think that because I grew up around people who are very practical about love, I'm not anti-love, but I am very practical about it. Like, it is a reality, having lived with married people all of my life, except for like a couple years in college, but that it takes a lot of work. Operative word being working. Work. And that there's a lot that's involved on a day-to-day basis, not just to maintain your relationship, but to maintain yourself. Okay. And I felt like very early on in my life, I knew what I wanted to do with my life. Like, I knew that I wanted to be a storyteller, that I wanted to be in entertainment, that I want, like, all the things that, you know, we talk about on here, that I wanted to do. And so as I got older, I felt like a lot of my peers was like game playing, you know, it was all freaking people at the party and then get it cracking. Like, there was nothing was long-term. Nothing was for real. It was all game playing. And so I think for me, I was like, maybe there'll be a time for this, but right now I really value like my work. I value what I'm trying to put out into the world. And I know that partnership and long-term love takes a lot of work. And that's what I want. That's why I said if people are, you smashing and grabbing, like you just out here trying to have fun, like there's a space in the lane for that. I'm not judging you. That's just not what I want. And so I'm like, when I look at the level of time and energy required to put in a relationship at this current moment of my life, I just don't feel like I want to put what I'm doing down to invest in a relationship in the way that I would want to be invested in a relationship and in the way that I feel like somebody should invest in me. It's reciprocity. Hello, shout out to Miss Hill yet again. You want it to be reciprocal. So I don't like to have my time wasted. I don't have to like my energy wasted. Everybody is very grown. So I'm not like anti, but I respect the process of love and partnership. And I just feel like if I'm out here grinding and he out here grinding and we grinding some kind of way, what is that? The law of attraction, abundance, something like that. Like we'll just meet somewhere in the middle, like when it's supposed to happen. And so I think love FOMO is real, and like the feeling of missing out on love is real. And I just think like it's a mindset trap. I think people are constantly trying to get us to like doubt ourselves, doubt how dope we are, like figure out if something is really wrong with us. Like when really, it's not you. It could be you. But just be happy with who you are. And out of that happiness for yourself, the level of attraction of what you seek, I believe will come to you in a time where you're ready for it. But you got to be like, not just sitting around waiting for that to drop on you. Phew. I think.
I totally was not.
And so, in the meantime, I just, work on myself. I keep my eyes peeled. I am not blind. There's a lot of fine, fabulous individuals out here. But I'm not really like out here hiding in bushes, like running over. I don't get dressed up to like go places. My homegirls do it, and I'm happy for them, and I hope they find what they're looking for. But I'd be like, I don't want to get it that way. I don't want to get it how you live it, because I think a mistake that what I deem as a mistake that I've seen people make is that hopefully when you find this person, at least from my summation of talking to married people, like they should integrate into your life. Like y'all should integrate into each other's lives. Like it should be like a very seamless, more or less energy, right? Like you might have to work to find the time to like get that first thing going, but afterwards, hopefully y'all have enough, things in common. Like it shouldn't be like, let's just isolate ourselves from everybody else. Like, because it's just me and you against the world. Like, and that's, cute for Disney stories and Disney movies. But like in reality, you got to go to work. You know what I mean? They come from a family, you come from a family. If you cut everybody else off, who gonna help you raise your kids? You know what I mean? So it should be a communal effort. And so I think you should just have your community involved in your love story, because that could help you avoid.
Man, now that was really, really important with me and your dad, because your dad,
it's true, man.
When we had his 70th birthday party, I was talking about that. Like he had the most amazing group of friends. Like his community was big and loving and just really, really great. And I was so happy to integrate into that community. And it also let me know what kind of person he was.
Right. You doing great recognizance and due diligence.
Yeah.
You're not just taking that face value of what this person says and they're not that person.
Yeah. It really let me know that the kind of people that were a part of his community, which we are still friends with all of them people 40 years later. You know what I mean? So it really is amazing, and it really is a good way to look at the look of love. Like when you're looking at love, don't just look at what the relationship is with you and that person, but look at what their relationship is
with other people,
their family, their friends, their community, their work community.
And then
it all
boils
like you
down.
said, integrates, works together.
And I feel like you could spend a lot less time Instagram stalking people if you would just know the people that they know. And if you don't know any
they're
of the
real
people,
friends, not their Facebook
like
friends.
If you don't know any of the people that you know, you ain't never met them, you're probably a side piece. You know what I mean? You might be in a situationship. Like you should integrate into that person's life. And if you don't, something else might be going on. That's just my 2 cents. I'm an observer, okay? I ain't jumped in the whole pool, but I be watching from the sidelines people's techniques and what they be doing. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So anyway, before we go, because I don't want to hold you, I read this amazing quote for Durand, who's one of my favorite artists, going on tour soon. And he was actually sending this, actually he was posting this on Instagram as a birthday tribute to one of his good friends. And he said something that like really struck me. And I think it's
me too. I was like, whoa, that's a bar.
Good ending remark. And it says, I truly needed this amazing human being when I was growing up. You've changed the way how I view friendship and opened my eyes to the many beautiful ways you can love a person and be loved in return. You're such an improvement on the reflection of how I view myself. And anyone will be immensely fortunate to have a fraction of love like this in their life. I admire you so much. And I just think that's a cool thought. Like, the people around you should be a reflection of you and how you feel about yourself. And if you are surrounded with people who you don't feel like reflect that, or if they are reflecting something you don't like, it might be time.
Or making you see something that you don't like.
Inventory. And I like the idea of an improvement on the reflection of myself. Like, whoever your people are right now, friendships, cut the situationships. Like, it just, come on now. But friendships, significant others, and the like, however it is that you do what you do. Hopefully they're positive reflections of you. And if you have, we all have areas to improve and things to work upon. We hope that you're doing that. And so with that, is that anything else?
I think that's good.
I think
that's all we got tonight.
I think that's all we're going to leave you with. We're going to bid you adieu because that's what we do. But I want to make sure, are you subscribed to our YouTube channel? Have you followed us on IG? Did you like us on Facebook? At Create Generational Wellness on all those incredible platforms. Check us out every Thursday. We're going to be here. We're committed. Okay? We're committed. And if we can't be live in the moment, something is going up. That's our promise and our commitment to you. Something is going up Thursday at 7 p.m. So make sure that you're here. And with that, we love you.
We love you guys.
Peace.
Later.